The Timdev Show!
Hello and welcome to another segment of the Timdev Show. This week we're joined with GB for another edition of GB Knows Movies. And we'd just like to point out that all of GB's answers are unscripted and his first come, first serve answers. As well, in this episode, GB is not sober, so we'll see what kind of answers he gives us. Please welcome back GB. He's here to give us his insight on the movie that we reviewed, which was Party Monster.
Party Monster. It was glorious. It really changed my life. It made me start trying some new things.
Because of this movie, he felt the need to do this interview not sober.
It's just, they spent most of the movie on different items. I don't partake in illegal substances, but I felt that I should at least take in some legal ones.
This week we are not joined by our cameraman, so we won't have very many fancy shots. But we'll make do.
I'm fancy enough.
Yeah, I guess. Were you shocked to see celebrities like Seth Green and Macaulay Culkin play in a film like this?
Macaulay Culkin, no. He kind of gave off that vibe even as a child that he was going to grow up kind of in that way. Seth Green, I've seen him in a lot of things before that, and apparently this was one of his very early films. I never suspected that he could play off a gay character. I just never saw it coming.
I would like to point out that it was not one of Seth Green's early films, as this film was made in 2003.
That's a fairly early film. That's 9 years ago.
Seth Green had been in movies prior to 2003 where he was very famous in them.
Oh.
Did this film make you want to become a club kid?
No. Not because of the fun they had or like what they were doing. I honestly just didn't want to dress the way they were. Like, they were dressing really weird. Like, they were like having to outdo each other with every single like club they were going to, and some of the costumes they were coming up with were just like, you wouldn't have seen them in the craziest of music videos. Like, they were just really weird to look at. I couldn't see myself being a club kid. I just wouldn't like it.
Not even if you were on ecstasy?
I mean, if I was on ecstasy, I would have fun, I'd be dancing and all that, but I couldn't see myself dressing like that and going there. I mean, unless I'm on ecstasy all day long and then like getting dressed and continuing to be on ecstasy and then going to the club, as long as I'm on ecstasy all day long, maybe I could dress that way and act that way, but I couldn't do it. I mean, they were having some fun, they were having some serious fun in those clubs, and I could see myself partaking in that. But I couldn't dress the way they were. They were some seriously weird outfits going on in this movie.
Who was your favorite character?
My favorite character was actually a character by the name of Angel. He was a drug dealer who, I don't know if it never really said whether he was homosexual or not, but he kind of gave up that vibe, but he never did anything that was homosexually. But Macaulay Culkin's character called him Angel one time and said, come to the party next time. And he's like, come by next time, Angel. And from then on, the guy legitimately showed up in angel wings for the rest of the movie. Wherever he went, he showed up in angel wings. They actually went on, I don't know what actual show it was, but it was like a Maury type show, and he showed up on the show in angel wings. He took the name Angel and just kept the character throughout the entire movie. He's definitely my favorite.
Would you watch this film again?
Only to show other people. It was a very interesting film. I wouldn't call it bad, I wouldn't call it good. It was just very interesting. Like, it opened my eyes to the world of the 80s and New York City and the club kids. Like, this is all based on a true story. So it opened my eyes to what world was going on during the 80s. Like, I never actually looked into what that was, and it was very enlightening. So I would almost show it to, if I were to become a teacher, I would almost show it as a sociology kind of lesson as to what the 80s were like.
What is your GB star rating for Party Monster?
Probably a 3.5. Just because I gotta keep up with my halves. Apparently, I get called out on them if I don't. But it was like I said, it was very good, and it was very enlightening. But it wasn't just something like, I gotta watch this again, or, oh hey, I'm gonna watch this. It was just something that I would show to random people, just be like, hey, look at this.
Is there anything else you would like to say about the film Party Monster?
This movie had Macaulay Culkin in it, and that's what surprised me the most about it, because I didn't even know he was in anything else besides Home Alone. And he did play, I don't know what his actual lifestyle is, but he did play a very good homosexual character. And he wasn't actually, well, hold on, I will be legitimate. It wasn't homosexual, he was a bisexual, because he had a girlfriend through it. He had a girlfriend, he had James St. James, Seth Green as James St. James was kind of his boyfriend, and he also had Fez, was D'Amico, I want to say. Demike?
Certificate. Come on.
Kike?
Yes.
Kike. It was Kike. He had Kike in it, and they were dating and all that. They kissed. The fireworks going off. One thing I would like to add about this movie, the best line in this movie was when James St. James woke up from a drug overdose, and he imagined a party that was just amazing. And Macaulay Culkin's character is right next to him when he wakes up, and James St. James believes this party happened, and he looks at Macaulay Culkin and he said, "You know that party was better than a 10-inch dick." And when that just happened, it was almost poetry in my ears. It was beautiful words to describe a party that way.
Well, I'm sure you could relate to it. Well, that was our segment of GB Knows Movies with Party Monster. Join us next week when we review another piece of entertainment and try to get GB's unique outlook on things.
And just remember, GB knows.
Of course he does. Well, I'm not gonna fucking allow you to say wrong things. I'm sorry.
I've said wrong things for many a time.
Many a time, man. Many a time.